Welcome back, everybody, here to our final game of the day, or night if you're over in Southeast Asia, where we have LGD Gaming going up against CDEC Gaming here in the D2CL. I'm Toby One. I've been with you all through the wonderful morning hours. I do apologize for tripping a little bit during that last little game. It's primarily because I'm just dead tired after getting off the plane yesterday. So, yeah, I'm here anyway. We're doing LGD versus CDEC. First game went the way of LGD Gaming. Really just felt like a nicely executed draft. CDEC getting themselves choked up. It's kind of been the story of today's games. It's by 25, 30 minutes in, you realize you're in trouble. So you just batten down the hatches and see if you can weather the storm. They had some good options with the anti-mage, but then LGD just had too much money. That's kind of what it came down to. They were rolling in the dough. They were literally Scrooge McDuck taking a dive into that wonderful pit of gold. And, yeah, they just started throwing it away to ensure that they could keep up their lifestyle of victory.
10 seconds.
And it worked perfectly. So we start up again. Juggernaut and Vengeful Spirit, the pickups from CDEC here. Well, the Clockwork and the Shadow Fiend. Clockwork, yeah, I think it's actually, I think he's 4 for 4 today. Yeah, he's 4 for 4. He's been switched by both teams during the games. I'm double checking this, just so I don't feel like a complete twit if I'm wrong. Yeah, played by CDEC in their first matchup, and then played by Lin for VG Gaming Potential in their second game in their 2-game series. So, 4 for 4 on a Clockwork. Everyone's loving the initiation. And every single time he was picked up in the first 2. In fact, he was a first pick one time. Just right off the cuff. Didn't have a second pick available. Just like, I got first pick, who do I value the most? Clockwork was so far up there. And Shadow Shaman will be selected this time by LGD Gaming. So they have the Mana Serpent Wards. Remember the LGD Gaming also over on the Dire side. So this opens up Roshan a lot more. I kind of want to see if they do what I saw with the Chen previously. I know I mentioned that in the game before, but if you've only just tuned in, basically I was referring to a game that Not Today played during the JD Pro League. And that was basically Chen and Shaman stacking up a whole bunch of camps, and then they just flash farmed the Shaman. Got these Mass Serpent Wards up so early on, went for Roshan, then went for tower after tower after tower after tower, and just bounced across the map. Every time the wards came off cooldown, there was pressure added towards buildings, and that's exactly what you should be doing with a Shadow Shaman. And with a Clockwork that can allow you to have the initiation, beautiful. Works a little bit better when you got yourself a split pusher, however. So the Shaman does the pushing, and then your split pusher is able to take out another building or add pressure, so the Shaman is capable of taking out the building. Right now, all LGD Gaming have is the Shadow Fiend, who can push pretty quickly. But he's not a split pusher. It almost feels like a block pick.
LGD Gaming's turn to pick.
Ooh.
Radiant team pick.
I like a lot. Vengeful Spirit can't win the battle up against the Clockwork anymore. In fact, Clockwork might even go for Battery Assault and Boots first. Give him a couple of shared tangos, and he could contest that contester to make a contest. Because the Living Armor is going to let you win in almost any lane, including the mid.
10 seconds.
That's only... Okay, as well, with the Storm Spirit, yeah, the Shadow Fiend's not going to have many problems in the mid, unless the Chen's got a really good rotating with it. Like, the Vengeful Spirit's good, but to find the openings against these guys is a little bit harder. And the Storm Spirit, he's got some burst damage, which can go against the SF, but the SF can also nuke his ass.
5 seconds.
I think they've realized, though, that the Storm Spirit's quite free to move. Unless the Shadow Shaman gets a Blink Dagger, which it's quite possible that MMI will. I am also assuming that Zhao Wei will be playing the role as the Treant Protector here. Which just pushes Yao onto that Clockwork. And the Shadow Fiend can still be open question mark. More than likely played by Maybe. But it could be in the hands of Sylar if you feel that you can get a better matchup up against the Storm Spirit. And relax, people. Relax. For everyone to say, I use the phrase tripping, but it's more like it's not that kind of tripping. Don't do drugs. Never have. Never will. In saying that, the definition of a drug is something that affects the way your body functions. So, alcohol is technically a drug. So I've done that. But I haven't done the other stuff. Alright, so Sniper and Quap, hilariously enough, they were banned out second phase. On the Earthshaker and the Lions, CDEC were really trying to limit the supports for LGD. They wouldn't have been, well, they possibly would have been expecting the Shadow Shaman, but they wouldn't have been expecting the Treant Protector. The Tide's the final ban out. That's the one Xiao Wei took a little bit longer to think about. Who's going to be that offlaner that will cause problems? Treant Protector cannot zone out a Tide Hunter. He wants someone a little bit more squishy on that offlane. At the moment from CDEC, well, they have run, it was them, that were running like Timber off. But in this game, it'll be way too dangerous.
Turn to pick.
They did run an offlane Juggernaut earlier tonight. But to pick up another core up against this lineup of LGD, like, it's just greedy in itself. It doesn't even matter what LGD pick up. It's just greedy because you've got to give respect to these players in LGD gaming. So if you try and run a Juggernaut offlane up against a Shaman and Treant Protector, she's gonna get nailed. We do get a Luna. Xiao Wei is happy to pick up the Luna. Wait, can they do? Such a bitch hero. But a horrible hero up against the Broodmother. Up against the Luna. Yes, the Spiralings are fantastic for clearing out the Eclipse, soaking up the Eclipse, I should say, not clearing out. Where Luna, see, my brain's already moving on to the next thing before I finish saying my first thing. But Luna is one of these heroes which doesn't really care about the Broodmother Spiderlings as long as she gets some vision. And you're able to get that with a couple of Sentry Wards from Xiao Wei as well as MMY, so they shouldn't have some problems with that. The problem would probably be the direct damage. There's a build that was happening a lot over in Europe. I don't know if it's still happening in the last week, but at least 2 weeks ago it was happening a lot. And that was with the Insatiable Hunger and Incapacitating Bite. So you're able to bite and hunger onto the core heroes. And it doesn't matter who they were, because the mischance would screw up the hero. So there's no life leech, there's no nothing like that that's going to be saving you at all. Pause. Everything is for...
Prepare for battle.
Wow! Well, this server's great, peoples! Oh, let's try that one again. We've had flawless. We had no problems with the Perfect World servers today, apart from the fact that Dota TV was dead for most people, which is always the problem of having anyone from the western region cast onto a Perfect World server. Yeah, that was what we call lag. Alright, so how are we looking? Hey, in for first blood. We're not going to miss it. The cogs, they're up. And who's it going to be? It's the Juggernaut first blood. LGD, open up the account. Siler's going to be there. One more attack. The Remnant trying to help disjoint, but it's not going to work. MMY also moving through the tree line. Can't catch up to the Vengeful Spirit. So we get back just in the nick of time. Boop, boop. That's the sound of the connect. That also means that the 100 runes. Oh, this is just disastrous for CDEC. Oh no, they get one. They get one. It's the Broodmother. But Yao is the man to go up against the Broodmother, and LGD, after getting the two initial picks, are going to go for an aggro tri-lane. There was Siler who got both of the kills as well. If they ran him on the safe lane, this would be one of the fastest miners, but they want to make sure he's safe on the off lane. It's the battle lane. They'll keep the Juggernaut down, so no matter what the Broodmother gets, as long as Yao's able to find some experience here, it's going to be okay. And they found Garter again. Xiao Wei looking to pump those Fists of Fury. Into the back of the Vengeful Spirit's neck. They are really not going to be able to control Sylar, are they? He buys a Ring of Basilius for his team. Boots as well for himself. And the Juggernaut can't come close on this. He knows he'll die almost instantly. Support came up to the top lane. That's the Chen. Wait, Chen? He has a creep? Nope. He just doesn't want to be in his jungle. Obviously, also you lose the battle. Observer Ward down. Observer Ward down. He can basically use these two right here. That's not something he wants to do. With this Storm Spirit, we're seeing it in the previous game. You want to be using those remnants to farm up and get some flash farming going. They're going to go for mid. With the lead seed, I'll slow him down just enough to get that last long raise in. But the Storm Spirit movement speed, there goes your lead seed. 300 versus now the 208. Xiao 8, he'll need to hit him at least twice to find these kills. And Pluckles and bringing out some extra support. Okay, yeah, at least. It's going to be 3 times now. And there goes yourself. The Xiao 8. How? How, Yao? You didn't even have battery assault. You had cogs level 1 and rocket flares. He must have cogged him underneath the tower. That kill shouldn't happen. There's no reason why that kill should happen. Because battery assault would have just been soaked up by the spiderlings, and she had a whole bunch of them up there. And yeah, he must have just cogged him here. Took too much damage from the tower. And couldn't get back in Viz in time. Ooh. Nope, this time not kill him. The cogs are up. Okay, they're all just getting pushed around. I don't think LGD care. Sailor's still got all the farm in the world. That's going to be his treads up as well. They've managed to zone out this mid because Xiao 8 wasn't required to be on the bottom lane. They do more than enough with the Shaman as well as the Luna. And you also want the Shaman and the Luna to get these levels quicker. So sacrifice your tree. I don't even care if he soaks up the levels in the mid. They're chasing Yao down again. He always knew he was going to have a rough lane. But by the fact he's managed to get himself so far in, burns off the mana for the Vengeful Spirit, so there's no stun available. The Centaur is coming over. It tried to go for the War Stomp, but he died too early. And it's MMY who's going to arrive. The rocket's flying in with the Ether Shock. That Vengeful Spirit's so low. And the Living Armor's going to be protecting Yao. Just chase Carter into the trees. And you'll get the pickup. At the same time, Xiao 8 gets his solo kill on the Broodmother. So injection of levels coming galore. Just not to the Shaman. 5-2. Talking about like 300 experience points plus 220 then into the clockwork. Practically practically a level for the Tree Protector.
Visibility.
He steals the Invis. No level 6 for that Juggernaut. There's no way he's going to be killing off this SF. But he'll reveal the fact that Room was taken. Meanwhile, in Rome, Sailor farming down the bottom lane. Yeah, so still keeping up with him. And in fact, now he might be in more trouble. Maybe trying to run back out of this one. He's got 2 raises, so technically he could kill off the SF if he could kill off the Storm if he could get himself the range. But he realized he couldn't. So the kill goes the way of the Storm Spirit. Chen takes control of LGD's jungle. And Garda's looking for a kill over on this clockwork. There's no mana on the clock apart from, well, that 70, 80. So he could potentially just battery assault this, but that's why they're trying to keep the Spiderlings on top of him as well. Who's going to take what hits? In fact, Brew got one, VS got the other, and now the Living Armor, well, that's going to wear off. They can't keep Yao alive any longer. It's only going to be a matter of time for the Luna's going to come up, but she won't want to arrive up there until she's got a couple more points up in the Moonglaive, or they've finished off this tier 1 tower on bottom. That's kind of what they're looking for here.
Top tower is under
with 3 points up in the Lucent Beam, you got no way to clean off the Spiderlings. You have to buy Sentry Wards. And this clockwork, it's almost time for him to rotate. Like, even worth the TP down to the bottom lane so he can try and hook shot in on top of the Juggernaut.
Dire's top
Just
tower
play the trade
has
game.
fallen.
So the Broodmother will take the tier 1 tower. It's inevitable. I don't think there's any lane matchup where you feel like you're going to beat the Broodmother. Unless you're committing 3 heroes and they bring in Smoke's Dust galore, everything they've got. If you've invested that heavily into killing off a Broodmother, more than likely the core you're up against is looking a hell of a lot better. But in this case, they'll let the Broodmother have the space, sitting at 2.5k net worth, while the Juggernaut has absolutely nothing. But because the Broodmother was also pushing in the lane, the Clockwork was able to find the levels he was searching for.
Tower is under attack.
And the SF's also arrived, and he's sick of it. The Observer Ward scouts at the Juggernaut. He's got spin now. So he'll do that one, but there's still a lot of physical damage. And MMY is going to ram him, quite literally. Oh, no, shocks. Shackles first. The Lunar Lucent Beam gets the kill. So 4 to 6, the tower will drop. Mid tower getting harassed a little bit by the Storm Spirit, who's getting freedom. Quite a large amount of it in that mid. Well, up on top, Yao still very defensive.
Bottom tower
But the tier 1 tower and bottom lane drops. I think now is time for the Luna to come up to the top lane. Because Yao needs to get out of here. Rockets, farms up a couple of the Spiderlings at least. But here comes your TP. Actually, that was the first one was the SF and it ended up being cancelled. So will the second one. Which I believe was actually MMY. So they're going to let, what, the tier 2 tower drop as well? They better have a plan to clean up that jungle if they're going to do such a thing.
Dire's structures are
Because if they don't... Okay. CDEC back up anyway. So they're not going to force the issue. The Myers has arrived for Sylar. Looking for something nice and big and juicy. Levels is the important thing for him now. This takes the big Wild Wing. He's already going to stay ahead in the money. He's already ahead by 1,300. We'll probably be looking for that opening on bottom. Giving MMY the lane so we can find level 6. While Sylar farms up inside the jungle. And rotating over inside the cover of smoke. Still 3 creeps for the Chen, so the Eclipse won't be as powerful, maybe. Smoke's going to break and he sees Garter and Chen moving over. The TPs, well, they're already starting over on the Juggernaut. Hex and Shackles are both being used and the Razors dropping these supports from the Radiant side down so low. The Eclipse goes to work. The beam able to connect over to the Juggernaut. Even though the Chen army try to tank up as much as possible. Zhao 8, where are you going? Not going to find an opening there, not after Yao is TP'd up. So much experience and money for him to pass up. And now Sylar's moving. Tier 1 towers, they have to gain map control here, LGD. They're still playing that battle of the push up against the Broodmother and the Chen. And with Storm Spirit and Juggernaut in the late game, they still look like they got a really great lineup.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are
Mass
fortified.
open wards. So let's talk about before, you just pressure it. You take out buildings just bit by bit. Every time the wards come up, you take a new objective. And the next one should be up on top. Go do the prep work for it, however. Broodmother basically needs to die now. TP arrives from Maybe. He's fantastic as well as cleaning up Spiderlings. They're just not that great at hunting into the trees unless they buy a gem. And this early on, you don't want to be buying a gem. Too easy to lose. No one's strong enough to hold it. Like even in the late game, unless Sylar's got like 3 core items, like tier 3 items, then he's also not strong enough to hold it. So, LGD CDEC. Looking towards that mid-tier 1. An Omni-Slash up for the Juggernaut. Means he's got something to play with if he feels he can find a kill. Up against the Treant Protector, he would be questioning that ability. Sylar back to the farm. Just coming out in the courier. Let's have something good. In fact, it's just going to be most of Maybe's mech. And 1 Wraith Band and a Bracer. So he's going to finish up a Ring of Aquila as well as build into a Drums build then. Unless it's a casual Bracer. The only reason he would change and go on for something like the Mana Style is if he ended up getting like a double kill in the next big fight. Because then he'll know he'll have the money to just go for the bigger item. And just leave it as a bracer. The bracer was the life points that got him through that fight. He can move on to something else. And MMY. I love the fact he went for the arcane boost, but he really needs to have 4-star for a blink dagger. His initiation works exactly like Lion's. Able to trigger before any response. Here we go again. In for Roshan. As I said, Mass Serpent Wars down. They took a tower with it to start with. They'll take Roshan the next time around. Maybe should the... actually, maybe it should be Sylar. Either way, it's going to be maybe. He'll take the Aegis the Immortal. Well, Tier 2 tower and Tier 1 tower taking considerable damage for this. If they can keep him alive just a little bit longer, it means rotating up to the top. So living armor could repair the towers, but it's too late, so they need to find the kills. Chen's the closest one. Zhao wait. Troll Trap's going to go on him. But then quickly into Invis. Is there an ulti? There is not. And there was no vision to give time for a Lucent Beam from Sylar. That would have required Zhao 8 to be a sprinter, as opposed to the jogger he was just then. Alright, so Broodmother deciding what build she wants to go. Minus is the first point, but it's a Broodmother off lane who had a decent start. Of course you're going to go for the Hololic $1. That's just if you could try and go for the kill or the push build. And in this case, it's the kill build with the Dagon. He doesn't have it yet, so Zhao wait. He can't get back into Invis in time. Nature's guys. Oh, Luna, the Spiderlings, they're all down. The rocket helped to clean it out. So she's able to pick up the Vengeful Spirit at least, but with the Storm Spirit having a haste rune and Broodmother back into the webs, there's nothing more they can really do about this. MMY's wards off cooldown in 10 seconds time. And the LGD, the only lane they've got control of is the mid, so that's the one they're going to try and push. They're going to lose their tier 1 tower on bottom lane more than likely. Is TP coming in from Zhao 8, so we can slow this one down. They just want the better map control trade-off. Tier 3 tower is being chipped in by Shiki, but it's a Storm Spirit. They don't care about that. Not TP back, however, because it's really good farm for the Luna. Down on bottom lane. Fortification, Zhao ain't able to hold by himself. He'll have help anyway. The Shadow Fiend's the first one to come in. Raise one. And stun one. Where are you going, Yao? Looking towards the Juggernaut. Chen's the easier one. And, nope, they found him. The Hex, able to get it perfect from the Shaman. Couldn't get the Shackles off, however. One, because he didn't have enough mana, and two, because he got Troll trapped out. But allows Yao to do the work. Omni Slash gets the revenge kill onto the Shaman. The living armor on Yao. He still feels confident enough to chase after the Juggernaut, but doesn't feel the need to, however. Not when there's Chen creeps to kill. And that's his entire army gone.
Dire's top tower is under
That's
attack.
quite punishing for CDEC. It's going to take time to build back up again. There's also easy experience and gold coming the way of LGD. That top tier 3 tower being attacked. Luna has to defend. With 3 points up in the glaives, 2 points up in the aura. Whoop! Sylar. Well, that was quick. That was really, really quick. Luna's not really the most tankiest heroes out there. And SF. The Blink Dagger already up. Yao. They might just have to settle for Garda here. At the same time, Broodmother's just killed a True Protector, so maybe they don't settle for anything. He's going to go for more. MMY, he'll Hex, but the Spiderlings are still going to chase him down. And one spawn Spiderling charge in means they take the kill. There's currently 3 players down for LGD. And Broodmother's moving over towards Yao. And Yao, well, okay. He's going to get slowed down. The insatiable hunger, maybe to the neighborhood. And razors are the key right there. Saw the Spiderling army chasing.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Needed to clean it up. So the tier 3 tower's down to half of its life. They have to use living armor to bring it back up again. LGD not getting the better of these trades. In fact, CDEC bringing it back. So that's a terrific fight for them. Obviously, maybe it's looking in a really great position as this SF. But when you have 8.9k worth of farm on a Luna, and she can go from 75% to 0 in the space of a second from just 2 heroes jumping in, obviously it's still the Storm and the Brood. And that's a Brood with a Dagon. Make that a level 3 Dagon now. Life is hard, and LGD don't want to wait. They really don't want to wait. They don't want to have this game go any longer than it has to. Make the most of the Aegis, the Immortal. Take out the mid-racks. They have Tree ulti. The Mass Serpent Ward's already down, and the Chen unit's trying to come in to clean this up. Yao, not in a great position for initiation. In fact, they should look behind them too, because Storm Spirit intercepted the creep wave. Now the backdoor regeneration is not going to kick in because LGD, actually they have to back out now. So they're going to lose their wars. They did the damage, but they didn't achieve the objective. And Storm's creep skipping it all again.
Looking for me?
It's just frustrating more than anything else. Even the courier couldn't deliver a single branch. CDEC are playing this perfect, but they have to keep pushing on top. Don't know how I feel about the fact that Broodmother came back down again. If they can get this kill on top, then it's CDEC who take the advantage. And Sylar is out of long way. That's it. That's your opening. Broodmother comes in. They swap him. They Dagon. And Sylar, no living arm will protect him. Trim protected. Nice hook shot him from Yao. At least gets the cogs up. But where's your extra support? The Requiem Assaults comes out from maybe. But the Hand of God repels most of the damage, apart from the stuff on Juggernaut. That was a little bit more difficult. That's a 1-for-1 trade-off. Meanwhile, Storm still enjoying his time on bottom. Who's there? It's Yao. Storm Spirit just keeps his distance a little bit around the cogs. That's the Living Armor trying to bring the tower back up again too. What's coming in? It's the full Bloodstone. Up on top, they do manage to catch out the Broodmother. Sentry wards are down. And she gets raised and just fist bumped. So LGD getting 2 big core kills as well. It's going to bring him back into this game nice and quick. There's also that downtime when the Broodmother is not being effective. And your Mass Serpent Wards are back up again for MMY. Roshan only 50 seconds away from potential spawn time. But more than likely LGD. I don't... Well, the ping's coming to defend top. Of course, that also depends on, like, multiple things. AKA, sometimes it says defend. Actually, no, it always says defend. It never says attack. So it could be LGD saying, I want this top tower. And MMY is heading up for it. So yeah, I'm going to say it was that one.
Do it with flair.
So they want to take a tier 1 tower on top up against the Broodmother. Ballsy, give him that. She's going to keep a lot of spam coming at them and throttling the wave. Even creep skipping it at times. You're still not walking around with a gem. What you do have is almost completed Eul Scepter Blink Dagger on the Shadow Fiend. Which means heroes like Storm Spirit could just find themselves being massively exploded. As long as you can get the timing right, they'll get exploded. The blink on the Shadow Shaman too. There's that initiation they require on the Storm Spirit of the Juggernaut. Straight blink to Hex. That's the goal. Because with that, then the SF can go to work. Then the Luna can go to work. And you can protect the Shadow Shaman with something like the Living Armor. Which has to finish its job almost on the top.
Double damage.
The mid and bottom. In fact, the bottom is a perfect health. So, Zhao has been working hard in the buildings. Hold those lines. Here comes the Broodmother again. The rockets have to do a large amount of damage, but they're going for racks. Like, the tower's already been hurt. There's no fortification for another 40 seconds. So this is the best opening LGD is probably going to get. The Chen army is pathetic. It's one hellbear. Storm jumping in. Wow! Okay, they got the critical kill. There's no mass serpent wards. The hellbear tanked up 2 of those loosened beams from the ultimate of Sylar. And with the Dagon just going to work, Storm, Yule Scepter will be there. Maybe wants him dead. And, oh, VS swaps him out. But not in time. So VS will also drop. They may feel like the advantage may be enough. They can keep this push going. The Broodmother isn't really great at defending this. The Spirelings are pushing in through top, but the tower can handle that. LGD know that, but with the Storm Spirit coming back to life again in a couple of seconds' time, they just let maybe have the money. They didn't get to use the Mass Serpent Wards. They'll also realize that Roshans can be spawning. He's 15 to 20 seconds away. And Yao's going to scout just a fraction too early here. He has Rocket, so he can scout at any time. But that was the perfect jump in from CDEC. They knew the primary target. They did not want to have those Mass Serpent Wards down. With no Chen army to be there to tank up most of it, that's what they needed to do. Alpha Wolf, hello. Picked up, having a looky down. And they see it already perfectly. They know they're inside of Rosham. Tree's taking a little bit longer to get over there. The Broodmother's not involved in this at all. But are they really going to try and contest this? Storm can go for a jump snipe, but there's a lot of risk to that. MMY is still going to be sitting there with Shackles and Hex, so they smoke and they run out. And the Aegis Immortal this time into the Luna, realizing just how fragile she is. She'll get a Mana Style up. Shadow Fiend with Mech, Blink, Yule Scepter. You'd expect him to be able to live by himself. And there it is with a Chen. Shackles, Yules, and Race. Boom. Chen down. And he's going to lose at least one of the Centaurs. The Alpha Wolf and other Centaur will remain alive. Shao Wait's in trouble on top.
Bottom tower is under attack.
The real Broodmother is a fair way back. What's flying in? Just smoking a TP scroll. TP scroll's the primary thing. Smoke's actually going back on the courier now. This is when Sylar's able just to clean up everything. When you get that Mana Style over on the Luna and you got so many glaives bouncing around, there's just nothing a Broodmother can really do. Because even if you do damage to the Luna, like, she's not walking around with Live Seal. But I don't think that really matters at this point. It's all about cleaning up the waves. And it's all about using Luna as bait, which is now going to be scouted out by the Brood. Caught a glimpse of MMY going in, Viz. Where are you going, Broodmother? He's just creep skipping it. Sylar should be able to still bring down this tier 1 tower by himself, but it's trade-off time. Juggernaut with a level 2 Omni Slash with a swap. Yao's the only one here to try and defend this. On both sides with a fortification. The Broodlings will just keep fighting here. But it's tier 1 for tier 1. So both teams now have a reset over on their fortify. But Sylar and maybe. Their pushing power is just so strong. Just purely because of physical DPS. This also helps when the bouncing glaives just rip apart the creep waves. They're TPing one back, it's just Zhao 8.
An article of faith.
Dropping the sentry, they see the Broodmother. MMY knows where he is. The Hand of God's already going off, and I'm assuming that's for the Chen army. Brood. To the trees. Oh no! They just need to get deeper. Oh, he moved down! He moved down! He mustn't have seen the wards. It was still in range of the sentry. Actually, it wasn't in range of the sentry ward. The initial attack was because he had one of his legs there. So the Brood will drop. The Mass Serpent wards are committed. The double blinking heroes trying to relieve some of this pressure. And they're able to. They just took a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower with the Brood kill for the loss of a tier 1 tower on the bottom. Well worth it for LGD. And they're already coming down. The Chen army being pulled back, but the Alpha Wolf is gone, so there's no bonus damage at least. Maybe as well as Sylar feel confident enough. They can finish up this tier 3 tower. It's pretty low. Remember, no fortification. It was used to defend the tier 2 tower on top. So tower dropping, Storm, long jump out. And Sylar just pops off the Mana Style. He's still got the Aegis Immortal, and he wants to keep these attacks going because the bouncing attacks just rip apart the buildings and the support heroes that try and come in close. So they've taken mid-racks. Sure, there's no mass open wards for another
Radiant's
48
middle
seconds, but
has fallen.
the Brood was down. She's only got Dagon,
Radiant's middle barracks
which means she has to
fallen.
combine with that Storm Spirit to find kills. I think one of our guys in the chat has just realized that Russian viewers have more power in Dota than English viewers. I say more power because there's just more of them. You guys had to have noticed that. Like, even the Starlighter games have been having 90,000 people over on the Starlighter stream. And only like 30k over on the BTS stream. That's just the way numbers work, boys. MMY. Yule Scepter. It's going to be big if they can claim him. And they can claim him. They claimed him bloody good. This Orc is going to take forever. He doesn't want to buy the second Oblivion Staff because he needs to hold on to his buyback money. He's the only one right now over on CDEC that has that. Yao. It's going to hurt. The ulti from Zhao 8. They commit that just to ensure they can kill off the Chen army. That's a pretty heavy commitment, but they've already taken out the mid. Where are they going to go next? Like, it's just a rotation up to top. They're not going to go in through mid to get the rotation up to top. Yeah, he knows what's coming. Have to living armor him up. And an earn charge, more than enough life regeneration. As LGD looked at the top lane now. With no way against the Immortal, let's look at a large amount of money over on Sylar. Large unspent money over on Sylar. Oh, Blink Dust. They got the Hex. Need the Shackles as well. Can't reach him. That could have been big. MMY pushing the envelope a little. The mass open wards are up. Level 2 ones. And the smoke from CDEC. There's just Storm Spirit. Very long jump up. Looking for the Shaman. He might always want to drop these walls defensively, but instead they get the pick up on the SF. I mean, on the freaking Storm Spirit. In fact, I think it's over. They've lost too many. Clockwork Hook shot down. Chen's going to drop as well. The Storm Spirit did buy back, but he's just going to jump all the way back in again to burn every bit of mana he's got and achieve nothing. The Brood Mother is also a non-factor in this fight. It's a full Skadi being purchased up by him. And there's the GG call. The power was too much. LGD played it perfectly, and you'd expect something like that. When you're led by a player like Zhao 8, you know he's got the end game in mind. He knows how to win that game, and how to win that game was make the most out of the Mass Serpent Wars. That's the reason why you pick up the Shadow Shaman. Then the SF and Luna combined together, your physical damage is huge, so you can just push your way through. You realize, let the Broodmother take our towers. We don't care as long as we get the timings on our items, which they did. They even had a Crimson Guard over on the Clockwork, the mech on the Shadow Fiend. Those two things combined together removed almost any of the physical damage that was there, and because they got the first 2 kills, it was even bigger advantage, but they still were looking with the aggressive tri lane to make sure the Juggernaut got absolutely nothing. And that is how you remove all physical damage from one lineup of CDEC. Well, congratulations to LGD. We have 2 2-0s today. The first series did go the way of CDEC here for the D2CL. And the second series goes the way of LGDCN. You can follow all the information at D2CL.org. That's the official website. And of course, you can always look over on joindota.com for everything that is Dota 2. Any games, anytime, anywhere. If it's played in Dota 2 and it's at any professional level, you'll find the information over on Join Dota. If you want to see the groups as well, currently CDEC as well as LGD are leading the way, a 3-1, I believe. In fact, now it's going to be a 5-1 lead going the way of LGD Gaming. There's also fantastic teams playing through this newbie, eHome, HGT, Invictus Gaming, and both the VG Gaming sides, both the potential as well as the standard VG Gaming side. So great teams in that one. You can also tune in for the European coverage with Hellraisers, Burden United, that's Sing Sing's new squad, Power Rangers, Team Empire, Na'Vi, The Alliance, Ninjas in Pajamas, and BBC. BBC not to be underestimated. Those guys qualified for the JD Pro League as well, through some really great Dota. So keep your eyes peeled for more Dota. For me, I'm out. You can follow me, W1Dota, over on Twitter as well as Facebook. I'm doing a lot of stuff in different locations, so I'd suggest you do follow me over there if you do wish to track what I'm doing. And of course, subscribe, follow this channel right here. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.